Hey, John Crestani here, and what interesting times we live in. We're truly entering the twilight zone here because I was just featured on an episode of Money Revealed on Netflix, and I'm going to be reacting to myself in this video. Now, the reason this is weird is because it feels like my life has come full circle. And the reason that is because I actually grew up in a entertainment industry family out here in Los Angeles. I was around actors and actresses and producers and directors and musicians and all sorts of, people like that were just in the industry or trying to make it or making it or not making it out here in Los Angeles. And I saw that during my time growing up, which was kind of the 90s to the early thousands, I saw a lot of the sides of that industry collapse because of the advent of streaming services such as Napster and LimeWire. And I also saw it really affect kind of what types of TV productions were going on because of the introduction of reality TV shows and all of these online sort of broadcast systems were just starting out, and they taking market share away. And who here remembers Blockbuster Video? I mean, I saw the demise of Blockbuster Video. I remember the good old days. And type in "I remember Blockbuster" down in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. You will be missed, Blockbuster. Seeing much of that industry collapse, I decided a little bit early on in high school that I was going to go into computers, and I started voraciously learning how to work with computers in all sorts of manner. I would take them apart, put them together, I would look at the code, I would do all this crazy stuff, and now I'm on Netflix. So let's react, let's go into the episode and see what's going on here.
Scrolling through social media, there are lots of people offering secrets to make money quick.
If you're gonna make it, you need the right mindset. If you're not thinking big, you're not getting big.
You can find.
Okay, I like the premise of this show already. I mean, it's talking about, it's showing Facebook ads, very familiar stuff. It looks like they're about to take a negative angle though. So I'm gonna keep watching.
Same kind of guys on every platform with the same kind of spiel.
I'm not selling you a fish, but I'm gonna teach you how to fish. To be an entrepreneur, marketing, networking, enunciating your potential.
Seems legit.
Guys existed before the internet too.
I was just like you. 9 to 5 grind, fluorescent lights sucking the life right out of you. But I can promise you this.
Fluorescent lights sucking the life out of you? I mean, first off, that's kind of funny. I have fluorescent lights right behind me right here. Now, I never had a problem with the fluorescent lights part of working a job. I had problems with some other pieces of it, just like having to work set hours, waking up at the, to an alarm clock, the commute, the low pay. But I'm just going to skip ahead here to get to the section that I was in. I actually got notified by a lot of people. I got a lot of messages saying, "Hey, I'm seeing you on Netflix." So I'm just going to skip ahead to the part where I guess my piece is.
In fact, a study of hundreds of legitimate multi-level marketing companies found that workers actually lost money. And online, dozens of financial gurus promise to teach you how to get rich using...
There I am! There I am! I'm on Netflix, baby! Hey, Mom! Mom! I'm on Netflix! Yeah, come watch. Let's see where this goes. This whole episode seems to have a very negative tilt on any of these business gurus and whatnot. I think it's funny. They have this angle like, we're going in to expose these people who are teaching business online. But let's see how they portray me. I've had my fair share of haters online. I'm sure some of you have seen them, and I don't know. I'll even debate them too. So here's the thing, folks. If you have a YouTube audience and you have a problem with me, I will 100% come on your show and debate you, debate your points. as long as we have a moderator. I don't know who here saw me destroy CoffeeZilla like a year ago in a debate. Who here saw that? Type in if you did in the comments. Okay, let's see this part. But I love it. First of all, they're putting me right up there with Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Dan Locke. I mean, these guys are legends in this space. I definitely don't consider myself at their level. So it's actually, I'm actually kind of humbled to be up there in the pantheon of marketing gurus. So let's continue watching though.
Using familiar tactics.
And his was so fucking amazing. It means you can make it.
Familiar tactics is using a fantastic promise? I mean, this is the most brain dead thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, what are you supposed, when you are marketing, when you are doing anything, when you are putting up any content on YouTube, when you're teaching anything, should you have a boring promise? Like what is this show saying? Like, let me think of a boring, let me think of a boring promise right here. Okay, here, let me make you guys a promise. If you move to a weird location, if you abandon your family and friends, you move to a weird location outside of your city, you pay $40,000 a year, you listen to boring, super long lectures. I mean, these lectures are going to be 1 to 2 hours long, and they're going to be boring. They're going to be so boring that you're going to want to take out your cell phone or your computer, but technically you're not allowed to. You just have to sit there and listen to some boring dude speak behind a podium. And you have to do this every day for 4 entire years. And the subjects aren't even going to be interesting. They're going to be like, it's going to be like algebra or trigonometry. And it's going to have 90% of the material you're going to learn over this 4 years from these boring lectures are going to have zero application to what you will actually end up doing in life. And I'd love to hear from the audience. Folks, who here is using algebra in their jobs, okay? If you are using algebra in your job, I want to hear from you. Type in, yes, I'm using algebra, and tell me what you do for a living, because I don't know a single person who's using algebra in their freaking job. So that sounds like a boring promise. Do that for 4 years. Oh wait, let me keep going. And then at the end of the 4 years, you're gonna get a job. It's gonna be frustrating. You're gonna work for somebody. You're gonna have to go through this horrible process of interviewing and submitting your resume, where you're basically just a bee, submitting your resume, trying to interview, trying to get a job. And when you get accepted to a good job, you're going to get to work there. You're going to spend the next 40 years of your life earning less than you think you deserve, working for somebody else on their time schedule. How is that for a boring promise, folks? How is that for a boring promise? Okay, that doesn't work, okay? Nobody wants boring promises. Here's another boring promise. You can buy this skincare product, but your skin, it's going to look shiny for maybe an hour or two. It's not going to look any more beautiful. You know, I can't promise that. That'll be fantastic. Okay, let's go on though. I think this is I just like how Netflix is trying to expose online gurus, yet they're going back to the same sorts of arguments where they're trying to infer that there's something bad with a fantastic promise. I mean, it's just entertainment, folks. You have to make a bold promise. Netflix themselves is making fantastic promises to sell their services. You're going to learn about how money works or whatever, right? But this episode is not teaching you how money works. It's just kind of sensationalistic, kind of like gotcha content. It's entertainment. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. I could go deeper, but let's keep going.
incredible income without ever creating a single product, running a single ad, and cold calling a single person. That deserves a round of applause.
I think that does deserve a round of applause. I mean, that's a great thing. And I suggest to folks to use the simplest business models possible when starting a business. I mean, it's what's amazing, what's fantastic is that with the power of the internet, with the power of, you know, warehouses in China connected to the internet and warehouses in America connected to the internet and software that pulls the data from all these places, social media that allows us to reach people all over the world. It's lowered the barrier to entry to creating a business. If I was not teaching folks how to start an online business, there'd be plenty of other folks out there doing so because the barriers to entry have gone down and people want to learn, people need to learn how to leverage this stuff because now anybody can be an entrepreneur. In the past, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, not everybody could be an entrepreneur because you didn't have telephone systems and internet systems to connect a warehouse to a drop shipper, to a payment processor, you needed to hire people to run the checks, there weren't credit cards. You needed to hire people. You needed to have your own warehouse. You needed to have your own factory to manufacture products. None of this was possible 100 years ago. The barriers to entry have been creeping down over the course of time. And even since, just the last 10 years, there's been a revolution in software that allows anybody to run their own business. I mean, you don't have to be a genius. All you need is really a camera now. You can become a YouTube creator. You could become, you just have to have an idea and you don't even need to have any money and you could be drop shipping products from China. It used to be way harder. So this is just a natural result of folks learning how to do that. Yes, it is a fantastic promise. Not that that's a bad thing, but the fantastic promise is enabled by services such as Google Ads, Facebook Ads, Shopify, Alibaba, AliExpress, Jungle Scout, Helium 6, Amazon FBA. Okay, all of these things. Oh, and don't forget Marketing Tech, which is my software, which we will pay you. If you want to get paid by my company, sign up in the link in the description. And don't forget to spank that like button and subscribe to this channel if you're always looking for great content. But let me get back to this. I mean, folks, the barriers of entry have gone down. So of course, there are people teaching how anybody can start a business because now, unlike other times in the past, anybody can start a business. Is my logic wrong, folks? Is my logic anywhere wrong, any step of the way here, or let's keep going onwards to see what Netflix and their nefarious angling here is trying to do. Let's see.
I've been able to make the transition from working a corporate job
there I
working
am.
for myself from anywhere and being able to make millions of dollars per year doing that.
Two guys that I trained starting 1 year ago. And
So what they said a compelling story. I mean, first off, I didn't even think that story was that compelling as a marketer. I mean, it's great, right? I worked in the corporate world and I'm now an entrepreneur making millions of dollars a year. But I don't see what's there. It's almost like Netflix is trying to imply with their kind of dumb, like oafish, like carnival music that there's something wrong with having a compelling story. Folks, is there anything wrong with having a compelling story? First off, I am a little bit relieved. I thought this was going to be worse when I saw the intro to this whole Netflix show, that it was going to be like John Crestani, he's a bad human being. But they're saying, I mean, maybe they're still saying that, but they're saying the example they use to say that I'm one of these get-rich-quick gurus is that I tell compelling stories? I mean, is that all they have to present? Is this what they're putting on the table? John Crestani, awful guy, tells a compelling story. Rest my case. Okay, Netflix, sorry, I am guilty for telling a compelling story. I guess I am guilty for that. I apologize. I will try to tell more boring stories like your mainstream normie government-endorsed education system with all your old professors that are standing behind podiums telling hour-long boring stories and lectures. Maybe I should go do that. Maybe I should tell boring lectures. I mean, folks, it's like the mainstream, the normal folks have not caught up to where the world is at. And if you agree with me, just type in, like, yeah, they're stuck in the past or something. Because frankly, I just don't get it. That what it appears to be is that Netflix is, by saying that you're not supposed to have fantastic promises, not supposed to have compelling stories, is that they're saying you should be boring stories, and they're sort of like endorsing the mainstream education system, right? The government, the compulsory education system, where you kind of go and just, like, people hate it. 3% of people become doctors, lawyers, or engineers. Okay, so the other 97% are subjected to these boring lectures all day in classrooms. I mean, I remember when I was in college in 2008, everybody, I'd say the majority of the people in class were just sitting there on their cell phones all day. I mean, they were not interested in the material. The professor was not even interested in his own material. And it wasn't even his own material anymore. He was just reading out of a textbook. I mean, you could tell he was just bored to tears. Nobody's interested in the material that those big education companies like Houghton Mifflin and I don't know, whatever the other companies' names are that they put out. It's boring, it's not engaging, and it's not useful to folks' lives. A person who I think put this really eloquently was Meet Kevin. So Meet Kevin's another famous YouTuber, and he talks about stocks and real estate, and he's running for the governor of my state, okay? And I'm so excited because one of his major platforms is to reinvent the education system in California. And Kevin, I fully endorse you, and I give you 2 thumbs up for that, because the education system is completely broken. And Netflix is being awful and stuck in the past by basically endorsing this old school education system, but it's broken. People aren't engaged by it. People aren't becoming rich because they're getting A's in class and they're paying attention to all the boring lectures that they're talking about. That's not how folks are getting rich in today's day and age. The way people are getting rich, and by the way, I invite anybody, prove me otherwise. Prove me otherwise. Prove to me there's a correlation with doing, no, not a correlation. Prove to me there is a causality for doing well in school and doing well in life. Because I don't think there's any causality. The only thing that's been proven is a correlation between people who go to college or master's programs or PhD programs and how well they do in life. But there's also a correlation between people who go to colleges. People who go to colleges tend to come from higher income families. Okay? Oh, there's more correlations. Here's another correlation. There's a correlation between folks who go to master's programs or PhD programs with, guess what again? Higher and higher income families that they grew up with. Because you have to afford to go away to college and not do anything for 4 years. And you have to come from an even wealthier family to be able to afford to do that for 6 or 8 or 10 years, as you have to do to become a lawyer, an accountant or something, okay? So the correlation of people earning more money with college is actually a correlation with how much money their family, their parents made or have. That's the correlation that they don't tell you, folks. That's the correlation. Causality is completely different. Causality means that if you do well in school, you will do better in life. Causality is saying because he did better in school, he's going to do better in life. That even if you take, and oftentimes there is a correlation again with grades, and also how well people do in school, right, is also correlated with how wealthy somebody's parents are, okay? Just so going into that, causality is different, and causality is a harder thing to prove. I had to retake statistics 3 times. Causality and correlation was like one of the few things I picked up on. And again, it's never come in any use for my life except for this video. So I guess you do learn some things from college, but it certainly didn't make me any money. Okay, let's, I'm getting really angry about this, but folks, I endorse Meet Kevin for President. One of his platforms is reinventing the education system because he sees that it's broken. YouTube is the future of education. I believe that education should move to being free. That's why I create this content. And if you vote for free education, if you vote for Meet Kevin, type I vote for Meet Kevin in the comments below. I don't think there's anything more to talk about on this Netflix episode. I've been just ranting for like half an hour here at the camera, but I think Netflix's whole angle on this is stuck in the past. I think what places like Netflix and these different streaming services should be embracing is they should be embracing actual education to take people to the next level. They should be embracing it in a model that's not just passive watching, but I believe education also needs to be collaborative, because you can learn on your own, but you don't truly digest the information unless you really just process it in a group setting with other people, with folks that you can talk to or support you or email and ask questions to, or other people going through the same experience as you that you can communicate with. And wow, my voice just sorry, I'm overcoming a sickness here. I'm not actually going through puberty anymore. Promise. Now, many folks wonder why I charge for my training programs, right? I have a training program on affiliate marketing, how to do paid advertising and affiliate marketing. Meet Kevin does too. I think basically every YouTuber that actually does educational content has a training course. Why? Why do we have training courses if a lot of our content's free on YouTube and, it's just a money grab, right? No, the reason we have training courses is because to offer the best training experience, you actually need to go into group settings. You need support. I mean, really, I'd say the biggest word around training courses is that word support. You need somebody to talk to on the phone sometimes. You need somebody to actually send an email to. You need community. You need group webinars, you need live webinars, you need people you can talk with. You need to know other people that are going through the same experience of learning how to fix and flip real estate, or learning how to wholesale real estate properties, or buy paid advertising on Facebook, Google, YouTube, Instagram, how to choose affiliate offers, right? It's not just a one-way thing. It's none of these new businesses, it's not working in the corporate box anymore. So it's not just a process. It's not just a hammer, a nail, over and over and over again, right? That's what accountants do. They look at numbers, put the numbers in the right categories. There are a lot of jobs. I'm not saying that's all accounting, but I'm just saying a lot of old school corporate jobs are just a process. It's just hammer the nail, hammer the nail, hammer the nail. Somebody sends you a document, you review it. You sign it, you forward it to the next department, you're just hammering nails. And the world's changed beyond just process oriented. The world has moved to a place where you actually need to use your brain. Unless you're using your brain, you don't deserve to be paid a lot of money, okay? If you're just doing a process. A lot of labor, you know, things that used to require lots of brawn and heavy lifting and stuff like that is being replaced by, you know, we have electricity, you know, we have robots, we have all this stuff. In order to actually be better than the average, you need to use your brain. And schools don't teach that. They teach processes. And that's why it's so boring. That's why it's so boring. But because we use our brain, we need support. And that's the most important thing with training courses. And the other sneaky secret of why I have training courses is because, and why I require payments, is because some of the content that I go through is boring. Okay? Some of the content that I talk about when I'm teaching advertising, it's data analysis. Yeah, boring subject. I teach some of that in my training course because it's necessary when you're buying ads. I also teach another boring subject, copywriting, which is writing words that sell. And the third thing I teach is research, okay? Research and you know, picking the niche and all this stuff. And that stuff is boring, okay? I've done YouTube videos on all of these subjects. They don't work. Nobody watches them. Nobody wants to watch them. I've released multiple times. I've tried more clickbaity headlines, less clickbaity headlines. Folks are not going to watch on YouTube my videos about data analysis, about copywriting, about research, because it's boring, is longer, and it's boringer, and it doesn't work in a free setting. I charge. One of the reasons I charge for my courses is because when folks pay for education, they are vested. They are vested to actually do the activity, and they'll be willing to go through those things that I know they need, but they don't. And that's the copywriting, data analysis, stuff like that. And it's the same thing with college, right? Is that folks continue staying in college because, you know, it's kind of like, well, I already paid, I already started it, I already went through a year, I already, you know, I'm paying, so I should go to the classes. But frankly, if college was completely free, if college classes were completely free, would you still go to an algebra class? Would you still go and attend a trigonometry class? Would you still go and learn about the history of, you know, America from the Civil War to the Revolutionary War? I mean, most people wouldn't. Okay, or maybe you would. Maybe you're one of the weirdos. But frankly, I know most people would rather learn about things that are applicable to their life. They don't want to hear about the Revolutionary War history. They want to learn how to get the best credit card and how to get a higher credit score so you can afford more things, right? How you can stay at hotels for free and how you can travel the world for free. How you can make passive income. How you can have an internet business support your lifestyle. Or maybe another cool thing, how to trap a skunk without it spraying you. Whatever it is, for whatever your situation is, there's a lot more interesting things that you could likely learn. If colleges were free, and if just the lectures were kind of like, hey, show up for the lectures if you want, I think the attendance would be pretty abysmal, frankly, because I don't think those subjects are interesting or would be attended unless people were paying the amount of money they were. And I even know folks, I mean, I have some cousins that are younger that are in college, and even when they're paying $40,000 a year to go to college, they still don't attend many of the classes. So I hope you like this video. I think I've rambled on enough about where Netflix was going with this, about the education system. If you want to check out my training course, go to the links in the description. If you like this video, just spank that like button for me and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content around making money online and just creating a business for yourself, creating the ultimate life for yourself. I don't think I've really done many videos at my desk before, but maybe I'll start doing some more. Let me know if this works for y'all, and talk to you soon. I'm trying to do the Andre Giguère thing. Okay, there we go. See you guys.